Welcome to a new section of capital budgeting. Today we are going to study one of the important methods for evaluating capital budgeting decisions, that is net present value. In short, we call it as NPV. It is a discounted cash flow type of capital budgeting evaluation techniques. That is, in net present value calculations, we are considering time value of money. It is one of the best and common methods used for capital budgeting decisions because it considers time value of money. It uses cash flows, that is expected cash flows of whole life of project in analysis. And the third advantage is that it gives some idea about how much it can add to shareholders' wealth. So it deals in line with the objective of financial management, that is to increase shareholders' wealth. So what is net present value? A net present value is the present value of the amount the investment earns after yielding the desired rate of return in each period. That is, net present value is equal to present value of cash inflows minus present value of cash outflows. That can also be written as the present value of net cash flows minus initial investment. So we got the equation for net present value. What it is? It is that the present value of all inflows minus present value of cash outflows. It is same as present value of net cash flows minus initial investment. The idea here is very simple. That is, if we are having cash flows at time t is equal to 0, at time t is equal to 1, at time t is equal to 2, at time t is equal to 3, like that, then we have to bring all that cash flows to the present value. That is, at time t is equal to 0. And then calculate the net cash flow by taking cash inflow as positive and cash outflow as negative. This is the simple idea in calculating net present value. To bring all the future cash flows to the present value, we need to apply a discount rate. So that is the method we are doing to calculate the net present value. That is, by applying a discount rate, we are bringing all the future cash flows to the present value and calculate the net cash flows at time t is equal to 0. So now we are going to study steps in calculating NPV. First step is to calculate or estimate the net cash flows for the whole life of the project. So the first step is to estimate the net cash flows for the whole life of the project. The net cash flows should be forecasted based on realistic assumptions. The net cash flow is calculated by subtracting cash outflows from cash inflows. So net cash flow is equal to cash inflow minus cash outflow. So in the first step, we estimated net cash flows for the whole life of the project. In the second step, our aim is to bring these net cash flows to the present value, that is at time t is equal to 0. For this, we require a discount rate. So in the second step, our aim is to determine a discount rate. So this discount rate depends on firm's cost of capital. We will study cost of capital in another section. So in the third step, we are calculating present value of all net cash flows. And this is done using discount rate we determined in the second step. We already studied what is the present value and how to calculate present value of a future cash flow in one of our sections already. You can watch that video and study how to calculate present value if you are not familiar with calculating it. So in this step, we are bringing all cash flows to same time, that is at time t is equal to 0. In fourth and final step, we are calculating net present value, and we know the formula. It is present value of cash inflows minus present value of cash outflows. So we got NPV, that is the net present value by fourth step. Now our aim is to decide whether to accept or reject a project. For that, we are going to study decision rules. So now we are going to study when the project is accepted and when the project is rejected. The project is accepted when NPV is positive, that is present value of cash inflows are greater than present value of cash outflows. So what will happen? If present value of cash inflows are greater than present value of cash outflows, we can see it will increase shareholders' wealth. So in this case, that is, when net present value is positive, that project will be accepted. And when it will be rejected, it is just the opposite. That is, NPV is negative. That is, present value of cash inflows are less than present value of cash outflows. So in this case, shareholders' wealth will decrease. There will be a loss in shareholders' wealth as the present value of cash inflows are less than present value of cash outflows. In case of mutually exclusive projects, we can make a decision by ranking. In the method of ranking, we are ranking the projects according to the value of NPV. Higher rank is given to project with a higher NPV. So in this case, a higher ranked project is accepted as NPV is more for that project than other projects. So we can take a decision of whether to accept or reject a project by calculating NPV. If NPV is positive, that project is accepted, and if NPV is negative, that project is rejected. For mutually exclusive projects, the project with a higher NPV is accepted. Let us understand more about it by doing a numerical problem. Question is, project A is having following cash flows. First column, it is time. Second, cash flows. At time t is equal to 0, cash flow is 1 lakh. It is put in bracket because it is a negative cash flow, that is cash outflow. At time 1, cash flow is 20,000. It is cash inflow, so it is plus. At time 2, cash flow is 25,000. At time 3, cash flow is 30,000. At time 4, cash flow is 40,000. At time 5, cash flow is 50,000. It is asked to calculate NPV and decide whether to accept or reject the project. The discount rate given is 10% per annum. So the time is in years. For this, we need to calculate the present value of all these cash flows. For that, we need to calculate the present value factor at 10% and multiplying it with these values, we will get the present value of these cash flows. We know present value factor at 10% for time t is equal to 0 is 1. Present value factor at 10% for time t is equal to 1 is 0.909. Like that, for time t is equal to 2, it is 0.826. At time t is equal to 3, it is 0.751. At time t is equal to 4, it is 0.683. And at time t is equal to 5, it is 0.621. Multiplying this with the cash flows, we will get the present value. So the present value is minus 1 lakh into 1, it is 1 lakh. 20,000 into 0.909, it is equal to 18180. 25,000 into 0.826, that is equal to 20650. 30,000 into 0.751, and that is equal to 22,530. 40,000 into 0.683, and that is equal to 27,320. And 50,000 into 0.621, it is equal to 31,050. So what is the total present value of cash inflows? It is the sum of this much. That is 18,180 plus 20,650 plus 22,530 plus 27,320 plus 31,050. And that is equal to 119730. What is the present value of cash outflow? It is equal to 1 lakh. So what is net present value? It is equal to present value of cash inflows, that is 119730 minus 1 lakh, and that is equal to 19730, 19,730. We got net present value is equal to 19,730, which is a positive value. So the project is accepted. So this is one way we can do it. Another way we can do it by applying it in formula. We know the net present value is simply bringing average cash flows to time t is equal to 0 by applying a discount rate. Here the discount rate is 10%. We know the formula for calculating present value is present value is equal to R by 1 plus I the whole raised to n, where R is the future cash flow, I is the discount rate and n is the number of years or period. So applying this formula to these values, we are going to calculate NPV. The first cash flow is required at time t is equal to 0, which is 1 lakh. And it is a cash outflow, so I am writing minus 1 lakh. So it divided by 1 plus I the whole raised to n. It is 1 plus I is 10%. Therefore, it is 0.1 the whole raised to n is 0. Plus second value, that is 20,000, which is cash inflow, so plus divided by 1 plus 0.1 the whole raised to 1 plus 25,000 divided by 1 plus 0.1 the whole square plus 30,000 divided by 1 plus 0.1 the whole cube plus 40,000 divided by 1 plus 0.1 the whole raised to 4 plus 50,000 divided by 1 plus 0.1 the whole raised to 5. It will also calculated as 19730. So this is the second method by which we can calculate the net present value by using formula. We will do more numerical problems of net present value in another videos. Keep learning.